Imagine a world in which Nazi Germany is still supreme. Imagine a world that is living in constant fear of Nazi government. Imagine a world in which Jewish men, women, and children are being murdered by the millions. Imagine a world in which there is no France, no England, just tyranny. Luckily, D-Day, Operation Overlord, prevented this from happening, and it led to the eventual demise of the Nazi Empire. I have studied D-Day for years and have done numerous amounts of research for this speech. To understand D-Day, you must understand the invasion, the lead up to the invasion, the actual invasion, and the ramifications of the attack. First is the lead up. The following information comes from Duncan Anderson, an article entitled D-Day that he did for the British Broadcasting Channel. Churchill, Stalin, and FDR knew that there had to be an invasion, but there was disagreement as to whether it would be in Italy or Europe or France. FDR decided that it would be in Normandy. By 1944, early February, there were 2 million U.S. troops stationed in England getting ready for the attack. In spring of 1944, they did numerous practice invasions in Scotland because everything had to be perfect. Also, the British leaked false information to deceive the Germans as to where the actual location of the attack was going to be. The next thing about the lead up was the location. They chose Normandy, France. The British were against it because of the big Nazi guns at Normandy Beach. The Americans wanted it because it was a large beach close to Germany and they wanted a quick ending to the war. Now that you understand the lead up to the most highly planned attack in military history, we must talk about the actual attack. This information comes from General Omar Bradley, an article entitled D-Day that he did for the New York Times. General Bradley was serving as a general in that day and participated in the invasion. The attack date was June 6, 1944. There were 5 beaches: Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juno, and Sword. Omaha was where the fiercest fighting happened. By the numbers, this information comes from American Experience, D-Day. It was a documentary on PBS directed by Charles Guggenheim. There were 500,000 ships carrying 150,000 men. 13,000 men were flown in on 300 planes, and those 300 planes dropped 13,000 bombs. There was some fierce fighting, the most fierce fighting of any battle of World War II, one could argue. This information also comes from Guggenheim. There was immediate resistance. There was death at sea by German bombs. Oftentimes, the people were bombed before they could even get to the beach and died. Many died at sea. 6,000 Allied troops died, and about 9,000 German troops died. The reason why D-Day is so important is because of the significance of the attack and the ramifications. This information also comes from Guggenheim. The biggest thing was a stronghold in Europe. It gave the Allies a gateway into France and then later a gateway into Germany. It secured that gateway, and there was a real close to the end of the war. It also tore down Nazi power. It ostracized Germany from France and Paris. It also led to the liberation of concentration camps, and it made Germany fight a two-front war. That was probably the biggest thing, was the two-front war. Any military strategist will tell you that if you're fighting on two fronts, you're not going to last. In conclusion, D-Day is the most significant battle in military history. It is significant because of the lead up to the battle and the preparations, the actual battle and the ferocity in which it was fought with, and the ramifications from the battle, specifically the liberation of Paris and making Germany fight a two-front war. In 2013, we can go visit Paris, France, and look at the Eiffel Tower. We can go visit London, England, and visit Parliament. And we can go to Rome, Italy, and visit the Colosseum. If there had never been a D-Day, we would never be able to enjoy many of these European locations, and tyranny would still be the ultimate power ruling the lives of millions.